Hey guys, welcome to our second tutorial on how to improve your aim. Last video we talked about in-game mouse sensitivity and which sensitivity would be best for you. This time we'll be talking about something the essential exercises and techniques and ways of training you will need to utilize to take your aim to the next level. We will be talking about all the best game modes to play to gain accuracy and speed in your aim, as well as tips and tricks from the best aimers in the game to help you improve. So let's begin. How can you practice your aim? Well, there are many ways, but let's talk about the best and most effective game modes and exercises. The first thing you want to do is build speed. Why speed, you may be wondering? Because speed is an essential component for accuracy. Accuracy is useless if you can't keep up with moving targets. If you're coming from our first video and have lowered your sensitivity, this will be important. You want to play fast respawn game modes such as free-for-all and TDM. Free-for-all is the preferred choice in this situation as there are encounters at every turn and you will get confronted on all fronts, front, back, side, and center. The pace is faster than any other game mode due to the large amount of targets and encounters per minute. You will need to be fast and accurate with your aim, because if you take too long to kill an enemy in front of you, you will get killed by someone else behind you. It's important while playing that you practice right. You will need to consciously be playing to improve. The first and most important thing you should be doing to improve is waiting until your crosshair or scope is on your target before shooting. If you're trying to get better at headshotting, you will want to go for nothing but headshots. Don't worry about dying, don't worry about your KDR. Personally, when I first started aiming at the head, it was incredibly hard for me. In fact, I quit multiple times, but after a few weeks of going back and forth, I started to see my handwork materializing. I was using an FY103. The best gun for learning how to headshot for beginners. I say it's the best because it really punishes you for missing your target. This is something you want. If you don't get punished, you will never learn and you will never improve. Humans adapt at the face of new challenges. This is a fundamental part of evolution in general, as seen throughout history. When I would practice, I would make sure I only aimed at the head and didn't try shooting at an enemy's body if I failed. I would die countless times trying to adjust my aim to shoot at heads. You really have to consciously tell yourself to ignore the body entirely. You now have only one target. If you miss, you should die. Another thing which I found of utmost effectiveness in FSC is tap firing as opposed to full auto firing while going for headshots. This not only adds an extra level of difficulty, but will substantially increase the rate at which you improve. It will also increase your overall accuracy and will improve your aim entirely. While practicing tap fire, make sure you use a substantial gun with high damage, high accuracy, and a low fire rate. A gun with linear recoil is recommended as well, so you can tap fire reliably and accurately at a constant level. The Safehouse is your best friend. It is no substitute for actually playing PvP against good opponents, but it should be used in direct conjunction with free-for-all for the best results. The Safehouse will help you build muscle memory and familiarity with your sensitivity and mouse movement. It will add a large level of consistency and a significant increase in aiming ability when used to practice along with other methods we mentioned earlier. It's extremely easy and convenient to practice with since you can join it at any time and are often stuck in Safehouse anyway while you are queuing in quick play or ranked matchmaking. Practice in the Safehouse for 30 seconds while waiting in a room lobby. Practice for a minute before your first game of the day. It will make warming up significantly easier. When practicing in the Safehouse, I personally move between the booths for different angles. Try using one bullet per tap and see how many I can get down at once. You can also just try shooting each target individually and keep going until you run out of bullets and continue in repetitions or sets. Try scoping in directly on the target's head and shooting, scoping out and doing the same for each target. Try doing all of this while crouched, while prone, while sliding. Become familiar with everything. Try flicking from above the target onto their head or from the ground. There are endless possibilities, but keep your mouse moving and focus. Put on some music and practice for a few minutes every day, and it will pay off and you will see positive changes almost immediately. There are a few different mechanics of aiming, each of which will need to be worked on and improved individually. There are reactionary aim, preemptive aim, and mechanical aim. I like to think about it as working out in the gym. You do all these different exercises to work on individual muscles, and at the end your entire body is better, more fit. For aim, it is no different. Working on flick shots, reactionary, will improve your muscle memory and help you have a better mechanical aim. Working on crosshair placement, preemptive, will help you flick better and more consistently. And raw mechanical aim is required for the other two types to work at all and will help improve them faster. It is important to avoid imbalances and to work on each component equally. Another thing to note is make sure you practice with all classes at first. They each require a different form of aim and will help improve your overall skill. Something that is not talked about much and that I'm not sure a lot of people realize is a large factor of whether or not you hit a shot actually comes down to where your crosshair is on the screen when an enemy appears. To have the best chance of hitting a shot, you will need to utilize something called crosshair placement that was mentioned earlier, otherwise known as preemptive aiming. That's for the next video though. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed and learned something useful. Remember to practice hard, but also practice effectively. Practice alone doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. See you next time, and as always, happy fragging.